Stylist, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to be here to answer another question. Y'all have been asking quite a few questions about virtual styling, so I figured I'd dive deep into this question that I got today. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kristen Johnson. I'm the CEO and founder of PSU, which is Project Style University, where I help first-generation personal stylists transform their love for styling into a profitable business. Now, there are so many different things that go into being a stylist. There are so many different types of stylists that eventually I'll break down in a video. But today, I specifically want to talk about virtual styling. Of course, I already did a video. If you have not watched it, definitely make sure you go ahead and watch that. But I broke down 3 different steps on getting into virtual styling, becoming a virtual stylist, and all the things. But this specific question that I got is actually asking about the educational part of being a virtual stylist. So I'm excited to hop right into it today. Okay, so the question that I got is gonna pop up on the screen at the bottom, but they asked if you needed an education to be a virtual stylist. First off, no. You don't need an education to be any type of stylist. Virtual styling, fashion styling, wardrobe styling, personal styling, e-commerce styling. You don't need an education at all to be successful in any of those styling sectors. I wanna make sure I make that clear. I do not have a degree in styling. I actually am certified now after taking a course, but I don't need that to be any more successful than I already am. So I wanna make sure I set that foundation now, because so many stylists are always asking me questions about education, whether they need to go to school, whether they need to take a class, and all the things. And you do not need to do that. Most of my styling knowledge that I've learned has come from experiences. It has come from trial and error and working with other brands and just pulling out of what I've learned from those brands, the things that actually make sense and work for me, and doing that and staying away from the things that don't. So again, like, you don't need a certificate, you don't need a degree, you don't need any of that to be successful in the styling industry. It's just a matter of having faith in yourself, pushing yourself, and doing things that you've never done before, but also trying things out. And when you do try things out, paying attention to what you're really, really good at and pinpointing that. Really focusing most of your time and what you offer on your strengths, and not feeling like you have to do things that you're not good at. Just because one stylist is doing one thing doesn't mean you have to do that in order to be successful. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I love being a stylist, because we're creatives, we're fashion creatives, and we're entrepreneurs. So as an entrepreneur, you can really just do whatever you want to do, as long as it makes sense for you. So I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. You don't need an education to be a successful virtual stylist. Any stylist, rather. So let me hit a little bit on the experience piece. So I know some of you are probably asking, okay, well, if I've never been a stylist before, I've never done in-person styling or even virtual styling, how am I gonna gain experience? Well, a lot of my experience was gained with styling other people. So reaching out to your friends, reaching out to your family, your coworkers, your peers, and asking if you can style them. Asking them if they need help with picking out an outfit. And the cool thing about that is that you're able to really build on the relationship that you already have with your friends or family or your peers. It's cool to do it with them because you kind of already know them, so you can make the best suggestions off of what you already know. But of course, you can ask more questions. Hey girl, where are you going? You know, what are you thinking about wearing? What color did you have in mind? What, really make it a collaborative experience for them and work together. And that will kind of help you to figure out, okay, well, in order for me to style someone that I don't know, what other questions do I need to ask them to make sure that I'm, doing my job and providing them with the type of experience that they're looking for. But you have to start somewhere. When I first started styling, a lot of my experience came from dressing models. So I didn't just jump into personal styling. I actually started in the editorial styling space. And I was in college. We had a modeling troupe. I was a part of a modeling troupe. So I knew quite a few models. So I just basically styled them. It worked for me because most of those models were my size. So I literally just used my own clothes to style them in. So you can do that too. If you want to use your own clothes, if you want to go to the thrift store and pick up some clothes, or if you just want to use their clothes to style them, you can do that. and just play around with different textures, different body shapes too. So I really think that is another piece to mention. When you are practicing and building your portfolio, don't feel like you just have to style everybody that's the same size. I think that's one thing that I feel as though I needed to work on better when I was building my portfolio. Because I was using my own clothes, I was limited to the sizes of the different people that I was styling. So obviously at the time I didn't have the money to go out and buy new things. So with me using my own clothes, most of the pieces were size 4 or small or even extra small. So I could only style women, one gender. I can only style one gender with that one size. So don't be afraid to branch out and style different sizes so you can get acclimated to the different body shapes and the different sizes that are out there. And trust me, it can be a little scary when you're branching out and styling a size that you've never styled before. So be open to the process. Don't be afraid to mess up. You know, it's a learning experience. Not everything is going to be perfect the first time around, but also make sure that you go in explaining that to your friend or your peer or your family member, or even if it's someone new. You know, you don't have to let them know that you're new at styling, or you don't have to let them know that you've never styled someone of their size before. A lot of people can take that the wrong way, and personally I would if someone said that to me. But I will say it's important to say, look, you know, this is something that's a process. So please let me know if you're uncomfortable in some of the pieces or if something doesn't fit you properly. We're gonna make this work. So just have confidence in yourself to know that, you know, you're gonna make it work regardless of what you have and regardless of the type of experiences and knowledge that you have. So have some faith in yourself. So something else I wanted to pinpoint, a lot of stylists are trying to go straight into virtual styling starting out. I will say that it's probably the most difficult path to take, to be honest with you. It's not possible. It's very possible. You can do whatever you want. But I think it's important to have and to gain that experience styling a real body multiple times in person before trying to style someone virtually. Now, of course, when you're styling someone virtually, depending on how you do it, sometimes you don't even see the person. Sometimes you don't even know their sizes or their body shape. You're literally just going off of what they tell you. And most of the time, y'all, people lie about their sizes. I had to learn that the hard way multiple times throughout my career. So for me, when it comes to virtual styling, obviously I've had experience styling people in person. So once you get that experience styling people in person, then you can actually transition into styling people virtually. But when you transition, make sure that you are taking their measurements, or at least showing them how to take their measurements, giving them the proper guidelines and the proper tools so you can make sure that you get the proper measurements. Aside from lying, people just lack the knowledge of knowing how to take their measurements. So if you want, create a video showing them how to take their measurements and send it over to them prior to, or as you guys are on the call, I would make sure that it's a Zoom call. Show them how to take their measurements on the call. So that way you're able to get the proper measurements and the proper information that you need. The one thing that I feel like scares people from virtual styling is making a mistake and having the wrong information, or something, you think something looks a certain way and then when they get it in person, it looks completely different. So when you are transitioning into virtual styling and starting to offer that virtual styling experience, make sure that you set that foundation in the beginning. Always let the client know. Honestly, no matter how long I've been styling, I'm always going to be very transparent and very honest with my clients each and every time. Hey, this is gonna be a fun experience, but in order for me to make sure that I am doing my job and properly providing you with what you are looking for, just be open to the process. Not everything is going to work out the first time, maybe not even the second time, or it might work out the first time around. But just be open to the experience. Don't be afraid to speak up and let me know your honest feedback, your honest thoughts. This is going to be a process. It's going to be a fun process, but it's going to be a process. You especially want to say this to those individuals who've never worked with a stylist before, because a lot of those individuals come in, work with you expecting like, oh, okay, I just need to tell her this, this, and this, and she'll have me ready to go. And it's like, most of the time, styling does not work like that. It's not just a one and done, and a lot of the times you won't get it right on the first try. And that's okay. It's all about learning about the client and really building that relationship. and that takes a little while. So don't be afraid to say those things and to be transparent with your clients and the people that you are styling. All right, so that's all I got for y'all on this specific question. Definitely let me know if you have any more questions for me. I love to know what you guys are thinking, and I want to make sure I'm providing y'all with the information that y'all need so that y'all could be successful in this industry. So thank you so much for watching another Ask the Stylist segment. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.